You're live? Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So today is February 25th, 2025. The time on my side of the world is 10:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Talha Nawaz today. Uh, he is an RQF Level 3 uh, candidate. He will be going through his presentation as it relates to a very interesting topic, which is ISO 22301 and ISO 27031, right? Implementation for business continuity in financial services, right? We'll be going through that, inshallah, on AWS, inshallah. The topic is all about business continuity management system, BCMS, right? And the implementation of the BCMS covers in the ICT context, right? Inshallah. So we'll go through that. You will have 15 minutes, maximum 25 if you want to go through the presentation. The presentation is at level 3. So there's not like a lot of tough questions we can ask. The scope is very limited, but there are some very good questions that I would like to ask you, right, regarding this, because this is the standard that I have worked with since 2002, right? So it came in front of me. It was known as, it has a different name at that time, back in the days, right? It was the British standard, BS. Now it is known as the ISO, right? So they morphed into the BCP and the DRP old name. It was known as BS 7799, right? The old one. Then it changed into different names and whatnot, right? Became 22301. All of these standards, they started morphing from 27001, right? Which was 17799. So BCP, DRP, all of these standards, right? These are internationally recognized standards. Wherever you go, in whatever industry you are in, this is the standard that they follow in order to ensure that the computing systems are available, right? Today, in today's world, we can't do anything without computing systems, right? Talha Nawaz, you said to me that you scored how much in metric exam?
89%.
89%. What was the subjects? What were the subjects?
Biology, chemistry, physics, maths, and all other subjects. Park studies, Islamiyat.
So this was the intermediate metric board, right, in Pakistan.
Yes.
The
Nine subjects.
this is known as the federal board in Punjab. They have a federal
No,
board.
it's a Punjab board.
Punjab board. Okay. So so there's Sindh board, there's Punjab board. So what's the federal board? What is
It
the
is
federal?
a for federal side, but it is now becoming in all over Pakistan that federal board will be used in all over the country.
So Yusuf, like, what is a federal board then? Is that like the board that now they are going to enforce throughout Pakistan, or federal board is only in Islamabad? Do you know, Yusuf? I don't know, like, if Yusuf is there. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure about this, but okay, but that's good, mashallah. That's good. All right, so are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, so again, I'm going to start the timer, inshallah. Uh, and I wish you the best. May Allah make it easy for you. Please proceed. Once you're done, if you, at any given point in time, if you want to ask, raise question or whatever the case is, let me know. Please make sure you have a stable internet connection. Please make sure that, there are no disturbances, because we will be recording all of these things, inshallah. You can share the screen. Once you're ready, let me know. I will allow you to start, inshallah, your presentation. Please.
Okay, can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, I can. Are you ready? Bismillah.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Hold on. Just give me 1 minute. Timer. 20 minutes. All right. Bismillah Rahman. Continue.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Talha Nawaz, and today is my EduQual Level 3 exam. The topic of my presentation is ISO 22301 and ISO IEC 27031 implementation for business continuity in financial services on AWS. So, what is ISO 22301 standard? So, it is an international standard that provides guidelines to prepare, to establish, implement, and maintain a business continuity management system. It provides a framework to continue the business in case of disaster and also recover the complete business operation after the disaster. The main purpose of this standard is not to ensure the complete mitigation of impact from disruption. It support the organization to understand the amount and type of impact that it is willing to accept. So organization can create a business continuity management plan accordingly. So here are the implementation step of ISO 22301 standard. So the first step is understand the standard. In this step, organization become familiar with the scope and purpose of the standard and understanding the standard requirement for establishing, implementing, and maintaining the business continuity management system. So then the next step is define the scope of your BCMS. In this step, organization determine the scope of our business continuity management system, like including the organization critical assets, like transaction systems and uh, operation system services that they are running. So the third step is identify relevant stakeholder. In this step, organization identify the stakeholders of their company that will be involved in the BCMS, like senior management, employees, and operational teams, and also identify external stakeholders who will be involved, who may be affected by BCMS, who may be affected by the disruption in their services, like their customers and suppliers. The fourth step is establish your BCMS policy. Develop a business continuity management system policy that outlines our organization commitment to business continuity management and clear objectives for the business continuity, such as reducing downtime, maintaining customer satisfaction, and protecting critical assets. So the fifth step is assign responsibilities and resources. So in this step, organization become assign the responsibilities to their stakeholders, that who will be responsible for what thing, and they will also assign the resources, processes, and technology to support the business continuity. The sixth step is conduct a business impact analysis. In this step, identify the critical processes and functions within our organization, assess the potential impact of disruption on these functions, considering factors like financial loss, operational downtime, and reputational damage. The seventh step is conduct a risk assessment. So in this step, identify the potential risk and threats that could cause disruption to your business operation and evaluate their likelihood and impact. So the eighth step is develop a business continuity strategy. Develop a high-level plan that outlines the organization approach to business continuity, and then set recovery time objectives for critical functions, specifying the target time to resume operation after disruption, and also set recovery point objective for critical data, specifying the maximum acceptable data loss in the event of disruption. The ninth step is implement business continuity plans. Develop and implement business continuity plans to enable your organization to respond and recover from disruption and ensure that all relevant stakeholders are aware of the plans. So last step is test and review the BCMS. Test the effectiveness of business continuity management system through regular audits, internal audits, and the lesson learned, and improve on the result that we got. So after implementing these standards, after implementing these steps, organization should keep on finding opportunities to improve their business continuity management system. So let's move on. So what is ISO IEC 27031 standard? So it is also an international standard that provide guidelines to prepare, protect, and recover from disruption. The ICT services remain operational during disruption. So because ICT systems are very critical to continue our business, so it provides a structured plan for ICT readiness. The main purpose of this standard is to ensure that ICT services remain operational during the disruption. So here are high-level steps for implementing this standard. The first step is ICT context understanding. This involves identifying the organization critical ICT assets and understanding the potential risks and threats they may face. The second step is leadership and planning. This includes establishing a strong leadership commitment to ICT security, developing a security policy, and creating a security plan. The third step is ICT continuity strategies. In this step, we have to develop strategies to ensure the continuity of ICT services in the event of disruption, such as natural disaster or cyber attacks. The fourth step is ICT readiness implementation. So this involves implementing security controls such as access control, encryption, and incident response plan to protect the ICT assets. The last step is performance monitoring. This includes monitoring the effectiveness of security controls, including regular assessment and taking corrective action as needed, and also providing awareness in the organization for the continuity of ICT services. So this is the cycle that organization follow while implementing these standards. This cycle is also followed to continually improve their BCMS and ICT readiness plans. So this cycle consists of 4 steps: plan, do, check, act. In the first step, organization establish their BCMS and ICT readiness plans. In the second step, organization implement their BCMS and ICT readiness plans and also provide awareness to their stakeholder. In the third step, organization test and monitor and check the effectiveness of these plans and check all the effectiveness that they are according to their plans. So the last step is act. In this step, organization find gaps in their plans or repeat the cycle again. So this cycle keep on continuously moving, because for regular monitoring and continuously improving their plans. So these are the benefits of these standards. So enhanced resilience. So it ensures that critical business operations and ICT services remain functional during disruption, minimizing downtime and financial losses. The second step is regulatory compliance. Helps meet legal, regulatory, and industry requirements for business continuity and ICT readiness. So the third step is third benefit is customer trust. It builds the customer trust that their customer data is secure and available in time of disruption. Operational efficiency promotes structured risk management and business continuity process, improving overall operational effectiveness. Let me just tell you some of the challenges that organization face during implementing these standards. I have not written there because I don't want to go too much in detail. So the challenges include lack of awareness, lack of resources. The third challenge is complexity in risk assessment, and the fourth challenge is continuous monitoring and improving. So what is AWS backup? So AWS backup is a service that takes backups of our critical documents and restore them during disruption. How it helps in business continuity? It protects the data by taking regular backups to ensure the recovery of critical data during, you can say, in case of accidental deletion, hardware failure, or ransomware. It also helps in region disruption problems, like in case of natural disaster or cyber attacks. It can restore the critical data for business continuity. It can also reduce human efforts because we can automate the backups for faster recovery. So the benefit we are getting from this service is that organization can minimize data loss during disruption by ensuring backup are easily restorable within recovery objectives like RTO and RPO. So what is AWS Elastic Disaster Recovery? So AWS Elastic Disaster Recovery takes real-time replication of organization critical systems on cloud and recover them during disruptions. So how it helps in business continuity? It replicates critical systems regularly to keep the updated data. So it provides a specific environment for testing, a non-destructive environment where normal operation of the organization is not disrupted. Provide quick restoration for failover and failback process. So the benefit we are getting from this service is that organization can do rapid recovery to meet near instant and failover process and continue their business operations during disruption. So Prowler is an open source tool that run the scans and identify the non-compliance system in the AWS resources. So how it helps in compliance monitoring? Run the scan for compliance with ISO, NIST, and other frameworks. Find vulnerabilities and misconfiguration in our systems. It generates detailed reports in which it highlights the security gaps in our system. So organization can take action to mitigate them. So a benefit from Prowler is that it helps us to identify the risk and gaps that could compromise the availability of services during disruption, enable the organization for proactive remediation. So implementation in financial services. So these are the high-level steps that I have written to be used that are used in implementing these standards, and I have also integrated the AWS services in them. So risk assessment. This is the most important step in which organization identify their critical systems like transaction system, customer records, then identify what threats they are most likely to get, like natural disasters, cyber attacks. Now take their mitigation steps like taking backups using AWS backup so they can be recovered during disruption. So business continuity during disaster. Organization should have ICT system continuity plans. Let's take an example like transaction system are disturbed due to any reason, like cyber attack or natural disaster. AWS Elastic Disaster Recovery can mitigate this challenge because it can start our operations on another AWS region cloud. So the third is test the recovery plans. Organizations should test their recovery plans that they are meeting the RTO and RPO. They should test that their normal operations are not disturbed using AWS Elastic Disaster Recovery as it provides a non-destructive environment. Monitoring for compliance. Organizations should identify the non-compliance resources and make them compliance. Prowler can do these scans because it can highlight all the non-compliant systems so organization take the actions. One thing that I want to add is providing awareness to the stakeholder is the key for success in these standards. So in conclusion, by implementing these standards and AWS services helps organization to create a robust business continuity and ICT readiness plans and build confidence in customers that the organization is compliance with regulatory standards and the customer data is secure and available during disruption. So that's the end. Thank you.
Okay. So the topic that you had was related to the financial services, right? You didn't mention the role of BCP, DRP standards in the financial services context. What happened there?
I have implemented, written in the implementation in financial service. I think that is enough.
Yeah, I mean, like it's there, but you know, the topic says, and I'm going to read that from the topic. Give me 1 minute. The topic says, this topic focuses on the integration of ISO 22301 and 27031. Standard to design and implement business continuity framework for financial services using AWS cloud services and open source tools, right? You did mention some things, but some things are missing. But anyway, we will continue, inshallah. All right, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So, do you think that before we start this topic, right, do you think that nowadays organizations are following the process of BCP and DRP? Have you seen this around you? Like, what is happening? Are they following it? Are they not following it?
In
Just
our country,
before we start.
in our country, they will not follow.
In which country is that?
It is Pakistan because at the backside of my home, it is a Suigas office, the main head of the
Yes.
Gujranwala. So they don't do any compliance.
How old are you?
I'm
17.
17.
So at the age of 17, you are thinking
Yes, because
that there's
everything
no
can.
disaster recovery. If you go and ask any 16-year-old, what is disaster recovery? The answer would be skibbity toilet. They don't know, right? Or what the sigma is this, right? So I'm really happy that at the age of at this age about all of these core things, right? So excuse me. So what have you noticed? You mentioned like the back of your house, there's a Sui Gas, right? That's the name of the company, right?
Suigas SNGPL. I don't know the full
Yeah,
form.
Sui Southern. What does Sui really means? Like I can't remember, right? SUI means in Pakistan, right? It's the this is an area in Balochistan, Dera Bukti, Balochistan. So Sui Gas.
But this is the office, not a just manufacturing site. It is not a manufacturing site, just a office.
Yes, so it's named after. This is operated by Pakistan Petroleum Limited, PPL. The Sui gas field is somewhere in Balochistan, right? That's where they're getting all there is 300 million cubic feet, uh, 8.5 million cubic meters per day at standard conditions. There's so much gas, but they have blown up everything, right? So now we don't even have gas, right? Do you have enough gas to cook food at home?
No, it don't come.
Like there was a time we had uh, load shedding of electricity, then load shedding of water. There's no water now, right? It comes on specific times. And now there is load shedding of gas. Uh, these are the three key primary things. And then there's also load shedding of, uh, internet. So when the gas, we understand like the problem is, because I'm from Pakistan as well, I do understand like electricity mismanagement, right? Gas mismanagement, corruption, right? Water, same thing. But when you ask them what happens to why has the internet being shut down or whatever, what do they say? Do you know? A
Uh,
shark bit the cable for the internet. Why is the shark is going to bit the cable? Right? As if it's not a shark, it's a mouse or a rat or something that they like to chew cables, right? Anyway, okay, so let's jump on to the Q&A session. So 22301 Business Continuity Management System. Why do you think that it is important for organizations to have that in the first place? Can't they just operate without any business continuity or disaster recovery?
no, it is because it is an international standard also, and it make the organization compliance with regulatory standard like PCI DSS and GDPR. So it also build the customer trust that the organization is satisfied with the standards that are internationally recognized. So it built a strong customer trust, and helps the organization to go through with a certain of steps that gives them a robust disaster recovery that they can do during the shutdown of their operations. So they have a continuity plans which they can follow.
That's good. That's a very good answer because essentially it's a continuity of services, right? You need the business. Business continuity means the business should continue even if there is something wrong, right? They should have enough controls in place, right? Okay. Uh, and why is 27031 is important? Why is that important?
Because ICT systems are very critical in organization. ICT systems, including transaction systems and databases that are necessary to run the services of the organization. So it helps the organization to run their ICT systems services that you during the disruption. Even in case of cyber attacks or natural disaster, they have the recovery side of their ICT systems, so they can be recovered or they have a failover instant, you can say. An
Good.
AWS Elastic Disaster Recovery can mitigate this issue.
Oh, so you mentioned elastic discovery. So how does, looking at presentation, how does elastic disaster recovery, AWS RDS as we call it, handle region-wide outages? And what are its limitations in ensuring full compliance with
So
ISO 27031?
So AWS Elastic Disaster Recovery helps in region disruption problem. Like it takes the complete replication, a copy of our systems on another AWS region, like 2 to 3 regions. So during the disruption, like our primary site is down. So organization can transfer their traffic to the other AWS region in on AWS cloud. So
Okay.
the transactions cannot be disrupted, and the limitations that are included, like you can say, it network latency that can be mitigated by AWS direct connection or VPN. So it will help the organization for faster and near instant failover to meet the recovery objectives like RTO and RPO.
So what is RTO and RPO? Why is it important? So what is RPO?
RPO. So recovery point objectives, the maximum data loss that organization can accept. Even their organization can go completely failed. It is a data that organization need to continue their business.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
MashaAllah. This is very good. Uh, Again, you know, asking a 17-year-old explain to me disaster recovery point objective, recovery time objective. It's very so what is uh, you mentioned all the key issues. So what is immutable storage when it comes to AWS backup?
Immutable storage, that is isolated place where anybody cannot come and cannot change modification in the backups. You can say that without a two-factor authentication, even it comply with the organization with data retention policies. So it helps the to maintain the integrity and confidentiality, and also the availability can be uh, saved by this immutable backups.
So if there's a ransomware attack, what happens?
So in case of ransomware attack, so like if ransomware has affected the organization has isolated immutable backups or using AWS backup, they store them in AWS backup vault because it is an isolated place. So during it affect our primary site. Yes, it is true, but we can recover the data that is placed in our AWS backup vault because attacker cannot use that. We have applied encryption using AWS KMS and maintain their integrity, and also we can integrate cloud trial, an AWS service which helps the organization to identify that even if any unauthorized access is taken, so it will give the organization the clue to mitigate the uh, to stop the
So
attack.
so you studied about all of these things when you were given the topic, right?
Yeah, it has been 2 months I'm preparing and lot of
Good,
things.
mashallah. So tell me about the, do you know anything about the AWS Glacier, Deep
Yeah,
Archive?
it is used for data retention policy because it helps the organization for long-term data backups saved.
Like you should go to Sui Gas Company and say, like, guys, I can create a strategy for you and how step by step everything that you guys have to do. Just implement this presentation I have. And
They will not listen me because it is only work on requests of majors.
majors? What do you mean by major? Oh,
I will.
uh, the guys with the stripes, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The great and mighty, powerful army.
yes.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of problems. So, I can't go a lot of depth. I'm already scratching and going into the deep areas, asking you these tougher questions. So because you're getting almost good scores over here, so I'm just going to throw in a curveball. So if there is a hosted financial application, which has an uptime of one, get a piece of paper and you need to do some calculations. Okay. So you need to calculate to me a cloud-based disaster recovery, which relies heavily on MTBF, mean time between failures, and recovery point objective, right? You mentioned recovery point objective, mean time between failures, like this is point A, point B. When do the services fails, right? Mean time between failures. So what's the formula for mean time between failure?
Meantime failure.
Mean time between failure, what is the formula for that?
I mean, I cannot understand. Can you repeat?
So, okay, so let me say. So there's a formula of RPO, recovery point objective, and there's a formula for MTBF. You need to calculate, right? So mean time between failure. Again, this is a little bit outside the scope because I'm going much more deeper at level 5 and 6 RQF, right? So I'm just going to go in a little bit deeper because I've been told I have to scratch you guys much further, right? So mean time between failure, the formula is total uptime divided by number of failures, right? Total uptime divided by number of failures. So I'm gonna give you a question. If an AWS hosted financial service application has an uptime of 10,000 hours and it experiences 5 major outages, then what is the MTBF in hours?
A number of failures have you tell me? Number
So
of five
again,
failures.
the formula is MTBF equals total uptime divided by number of failures, right? Okay. So if the hosted financial service, the application has an uptime of 10,000 hours, right? And experience 5 major outages, number of failures, 5. What is the MTBF?
So can I use calculator because I am not too much
Hey,
good
you
in.
can, you can. It's just like simple. You just type in the total number of hours, which is 10,000 divided by number of failures, which is 5.
So 2000. It is the answer is coming
2,000
2000.
hours, right? 2,000. So
Yes,
what do you interpret? What is the interpretation of you? Is that like good? Is it like bad? I mean, what is it? I mean, for
2000 time hours are minutes of
these are
downtime.
hours. These are hours. 2,000. So the mean time between failure is 2,000 hours. That means after
The,
every 2,000 hours, we are getting a failure, right?
no, it's not a. It's I think it is okay, but we should have some backups, little bit backups to not
No,
completely.
no. This is not about backup. This is a tough question, right? It's I mean going into the level 6 domain now. If you see this number in front of you, how do you interpret? Is the higher MTBF means better resilience?
No, I don't think so.
No. For the financial services? Yes or no?
I think it's okay after 2000 hours.
Yes. It's good. It's okay. Not that good, but it's okay. Because a high
Yes.
MTBF, it should be always higher. This is point A, point B. The failure should happen after longer period. I mean, eventually the failure will happen, but it should be longer, right? Should be longer, right? That's the key thing. That's good. You answered it right. Okay. The other thing is like for the RPO, recovery point objective, right? It is determined by, do you know the formula?
No, I have not studied the formulas because
Okay. So it's okay. Again, this is outside the scope. So I'm just scratching you further because I've been told by my director of academic, operations, I have to be tougher. Okay. Already you know a lot, mashallah. So, okay. So the RPO formula is these things are, I remember these things, right? Uh, the formula is RPO is calculated by, data loss window divided by backup frequency, right? So if a financial institution backs up its database every 15 minutes, you mentioned about data, backup, glacier, all of those things, right? And an outage occurs at minute 13, then what is the RPO?
13 minute is data loss window.
You have to do this calculation now. RPO equals data loss window divided by backup frequency.
Okay, can you
I'm going to
read
give,
the statement again, that one that you have studied
you
very
have scored 89% in maths, right? Like in your exams, right? How much was the score in mathematics?
mathematics, I think so. Out of 75, 68 or 67.
This is good enough out of 75, right? So
But I
almost.
have not done the maths courses of Al-Nafi because
No, I know.
that
No, no, I'm not.
that
I'm not even going in the probability side. Don't worry about it. If I go, then it's a different thing. I'm not going there. Now, here's the thing. RPO, I'm giving, so the formula, what is the formula? The formula is RPO equals data loss window
data
divided by
loss
frequency, right?
back.
Equals this, right? All right, so I'm going to write it down over here. Next time I'm going to get the, my tablet ready as well. So RPO equals data loss window, right? Divided by frequency, right? Backup frequency. So I'm going to give you the value of RPO, which is 13, equals data loss window is
15.
15 minutes. The data, the institutions occurs like, I mean, the backup frequency is 15, right? So what is the data loss window? So what is the data loss window? That's what I would like to know, right? So the data loss window and the outage occurs every 13 minutes, right? Right. So what is uh, then the RPO is equals to what? That's what I would like to know.
2 minutes.
Yes, 2 minutes. It's very simple. Very simple. Here's the thing. When you are working in an organization, right? These are the things you have to take into consideration because everything is in the cloud. You need to set up recovery jobs. You need to do all of those things, right? So these things are very important for you. Okay, the next question I have is Prowler. You mentioned Prowler, detect non-compliance on AWS. So what are its limitations when auditing for 27031? What are the limitations?
So Prowler has a big problem in multi-cloud, that it cannot do the well scans in multi-cloud due to network latency issues, and it also you can say creates false positive reports sometimes. So organizations should have configured their rules properly in the Prowler so they can um, do not get too much for false positive reports. And also they can it is a manual, it requires a lot of time, but we can use CI/CD pipeline or AWS Lambda service.
No, what I would like to know is, what are its limitations when it comes to 27031? The limitation is like, does it have the checks in the first place for 27301?
Yes, it can check it for ICT services, but the limitations include in multi-cloud, I think so. The
Oh, the
limitations.
limitations are you need to create custom rules. Yes, multi-cloud is another problem. What else is there are two major limitations apart from
Network latency.
no, not network latency. It has to do with IR, incident response. What is it? It's okay. It's okay. Every horse will have a stumble, you know. So you had your first stumble. All right. So we did some calculations for RTO, RPO, right? Recovery time objective, recovery point objective. Why these are important for financial services, for banks, financial institutes? Why is this important?
So recovery point objective and recovery time objective can be defined using these standards perfectly, because these standards help organization to define their recovery objectives. These are important because by following these recovery objectives, organization can recover the sites according to the recovery objectives, and also the customer will know that how much in case of disaster, how much time will take the organization to continue their system, and how much data they are able to get after the disruption. So it will help organization to meet regulatory compliance, and customer
Yeah,
trust
but
is
why is it important? Like, why the financial services require, I mean, do they require near zero RTO and RPO, or can they survive something for prolonged period of time?
no, not a long period of time. I don't think so. A
Yes.
short period is enough, like 30 minutes.
No, 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 no. Like if your bank is not available for 30
Yes,
minutes, you guys will
back.
burn the bank. Right? So financial services require near zero RTO and RPO, right? Okay. This is very
Yes.
important. Your topic is related to financial services, so you need to know, okay? I mean, this is your own perception that you said that, 30 minutes, like it's a very subjective term, 30 minutes throughout the year, 30 minutes or in a given day, you know, like outside of Pakistan in the West, the banks are always available. If they're not, it's a big concern, so they have to be available. The systems needs to be available all the time, right? This is very important. Okay, the Plan, Do, Check Act, the PDCA. Um, Explain to me, you know, how we would implement this on AWS
On
for
AWS,
continuity strategy. What do we PDCA, like four answers, four bullet points?
I have to answer each of them with integrating the AWS services.
Yes, yes, yes. That's correct.
Okay. Also compiling them with ISO standards.
No, no, just tell me plan. In plan, what do we do? And do.
So in the plan, organization identify their critical systems using AWS Guard Duty. No, AWS Guard Duty is, you can say, for checking the threats to their services.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Okay. I mean,
And in
that's
the
that's
second,
the time where you design a strategy, right? Using
yes.
elastic disaster recovery and backup, right? So you
Yes,
define.
so they identify all of their critical new services that they have added, and in the second step, they implement the controls like taking their backups, implementing the encryption, taking making them compliance with the standards and regulatory standards, and in the third step, they test that their plans are okay, and check the effectiveness of their plans.
So how are you
Um,
going to test? How are you going to test the plan? What are you going to?
using the Prowler and AWS Audit Manager and AWS Security Hub, and is
What about AWS fault
the Z.
injection simulator? You studied
AWS
about
Word
that?
injection.
There's a simulator program known as fault injection simulator, right? There's some you can use Prowler as well. That's fine. Okay.
Yes. So in the last step, organization do manually check the reports and check other manually type of things because they have trained stakeholder for this,
Yes.
and then repeat the cycle again. Keep on continuously repeating.
It's good, mashallah. Good, good. Okay. Last question. Then we are done. Okay. Inshallah. So AWS services, what AWS services provide air gapped backups?
Air gap backups.
Why is this picking it up? I'm not asking you, Siri. So what AWS services provide air gapped backups and how do they help in 22301 compliance?
I cannot remember. I have read this, but I cannot recall. Just
Give me any one of them. Any one of them.
uh,
You
AWS.
mentioned, yes, go ahead.
Can you give me hint and presentation I have mentioned or not?
Yeah, you did. So let me give you a major hint, right? So Pakistan and India had a fight, right? In Kargil, right? Uh, and what happened was like they were fighting on what? What was there?
For the mountain, they want to
Oh,
take
what's on, what was on the mountain?
snow.
It
No,
starts with G. Yeah, I mean there was snow, yes, but it starts with G.
uh, grenades and
No, glacier, glacier.
yes, glacier.
So what service is there for Amazon named after this?
AWS Amazon S3 glacier.
S3 Glacier, yes, yes. That's one thing, yes. Glacier Vault, that's one thing. Uh,
AWS
and then on the same thing, there is also with snowballs in down. What is that? There's another service.
AWS S3 route a load balancer.
No, it's the AWS Snowball Edge, right? It allows backups. Right? There's so many services. They keep on removing, adding the services. The service is not the part. I mean, the key thing is like you need to understand the key thing. In the cloud, there are tons of services available, right? You can pick up any service you like, which meets your requirements, right? So that's not the problem. But the main thing is you understand the importance of those services. Why do you need them in the first place? Okay. All right. So we are done with today's session. Let me compile the results. Okay. Bismillah. How was your exam?
I think it was good, but I was a bit worried about the presentation that I have not mentioned. I am thinking that I have mentioned everything, but
You didn't mention like, but like as I said, the scope is very limited. It's level three. If it goes in level six, then it goes deeper and deeper. I even asked you some of the tougher questions, right? And you were able to answer them, mashallah. So that's good. I mean, I'm going to give you marks for that. The communication skills are very good. You can communicate with me. This also matters a lot, right? So that's another good thing. Um, mashallah, that's good. So let me compile the results. Okay, so in the presentation, you scored 21 out of 25. It's good, mashallah. Okay. Uh, there are certain feedback. I'm going to give it to you. You will be able to see that, inshallah. Okay. It will go into your thing. In the Q&A, you scored 20 out of 25. Okay. Some of the questions you scored full marks, but then in some, you were able to provide some of the, in one of the questions, you were like struggling, right? But it was good, mashallah. No problems whatsoever. So altogether, you scored 82%, right? Mashallah. So that's 82% is your total percentage, which is very good, mashallah. Uh, this is merit in our view, right? So there's pass, merit, and distinction. Okay. So this is my feedback for you. You should go and do Al Razak program. So Al Razak program is very important for you because that will open doors for you to go and work in other organizations. You are only 17 years old, right? My recommendation to you is this is very important for you to understand. The recommendation I'm providing you is related to your experience and whatnot, right? So go to our website and this is the pathway you should follow. Okay. This is the learning path. You've completed your metric, you completed your DCCS as well, right? This is what you should do. And this is the pathway you should follow. Pick up if you are interested. Are you interested in business, computing, or digital technologies? Where do you want to go?
In technologies.
Technologies. So pick up computing or digital technologies, right? Whatever you want to do, right? If you look into that, your pathway is HND plus AI Ops. Okay, so this is the first semester programming, networking, professional. I mean, even if you do digital technologies, the same stuff: programming, cybersecurity, innovation, digital technology, whatever, right? So this is my recommendation to you. By the time that you complete this 2 years of program, right? HND plus AI Ops. HND will cover level 4 and level 5. AI Ops will cover level 6. So you will have 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is the proper pathway for you. Okay. A proper defined pathway that can take you to the next level. That's one thing. The second thing is you should do Al Razak. Al Razak will give you more hands-on skills, right? If you want to apply at a GRC role right now, right, managing cyber disaster recovery and business continuity, you will be able to ace the interview because you know the standard, you know the technologies, you know the open source tools, right? You have all the foundation understanding and intermediate level understanding, which is very difficult to achieve, and one can only achieve that after doing multiple years of industry work, right? Because of this topic and the things that you learned in the course, it it opens your mind and see, okay, this is where I have to go, right? So this is my strong recommendation for you. You're 17. By the time you're 19, you know, you will be able to go outside. Global mobility will be open for you because Pearson is an academic qualification. It opened doors for you globally, right? You can go anywhere. You can go to US, UK, Canada, Germany, France, Italy, wherever you want to go. Japan, everywhere it is open, right? Obviously, try to focus going towards English speaking countries because you don't have to learn a new skill. Otherwise, if you go to Germany, Italy, or Japan, or Spain or Portugal, you have to learn their language, right? Which can be problematic because your English is good, mashallah. Okay. So try doing that. Along the way, pass some of the exams. I believe at the age of 19, you will be very successful. You can head to the US and you can go to UK, you can go to any other country you like, and you'll be able to work. Even if you don't want to go and you still want to work where you are right now, but you already answer the question, no one's going to listen to me, even if I go to Sweet Gas and tell them this is what they have to implement, right? Implement all these controls so that you are providing a critical service. You will be able to continue providing gas when there is no gas, like people are now burning wood, wooden, they are now keeping wooden stoves in their house to cook food, right? I mean, the world is progressing and we are regressing, right? Unfortunately, corruption and all these favoritism, nepotism, and all these isms have destroyed, many nations, right? Pakistan is one of them. It's not exception. It has a lot of talent. The fact that you're sitting in front of me, you have proven that. I'm really surprised that, people who are young at this age are, mashallah, doing some great stuff, right? So if you want to study, continue doing your studies, but I would suggest you do the Al Razak labs and get your resume done, because now we will only provide resumes to those who complete the Al Razak program, right? So you have completed, and in Al Razak program, enrollment can only happen if you pay your examination fee. You paid your examination fee, you even pass your exam, so you're already passed through. Now, anyone who completes their BTech plus HND plus AIOps, or HND plus AIOps, or AIOps or AIOps plus specialization, any four of these pathways, they can get access to our financial sponsorship, right? You have already completed DCCS and you already told me that you are getting towards going for AIOps, right? Right. My
Yes.
recommendation to you is do HND and AIOps both together. Inshallah. You have time and you want to study, go back and study, invest all of your time wisely, and in the next 1 year time, you'll be ready for the job market. Absolutely, yes. Right? You can even go for the job market right now if you want to go for the GRC roles, right? But you have to do the labs first, get more hands-on. Report writing and communication skills and all those kind of things are there in Al Razak program to prepare you better. But I can tell you right now, you can pass any disaster recovery and business continuity role. Every company in the world requires a business continuity and disaster recovery teams. That can be your forte. You can be successful, inshallah. Okay. I'm really proud of you. Very happy, mashallah. Keep up the good work. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. We're going to circle back to you. Your results will be compiled, right? Hopefully, we will submit it like in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. Ramadan is upon us, so we will compiling all of those data and everything, inshallah, right? But regardless of that, I wish you the best. You have done very well, mashallah, Talha. Don't waste your time, right? Continue your studies and go in a meaningful pathway, inshallah. This is your pathway, inshallah, HND plus AIOps. If you do that, no one can stop you from going anywhere. AIOps will enable you to secure jobs globally, right? Because you'll be prepared upfront. HND will open doors for you 90 plus countries. I mean, you can just pick and choose. And you have secured merit over here. So you are eligible for the basically financial sponsorship, right? But you have to complete AIOps plus HND. That's it. And if you can achieve this here in merit, you can achieve merit over there as well. Inshallah. Okay. Say my salam to your parents, inshallah. Again, congratulations. Ramadan is upon us. Make dua for me and my family. Allahumma inni asluka shahadatan fil masjid nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Make this dua for me specifically that, oh Allah, whatever Muhammad Faisal is asking, give it to him. Inshallah. Okay. All right. Jazakallah khair for your time. I will be in touch with you. Okay. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you
Assalamu
so much.
alaikum wa rahmatullah.